All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who taught me this truth. Salutes and honors to all the elect brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity. All the men and the women who follow. This is the brother Kratazah from the Fountain of Living Waters coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. This lesson being entitled Americans have no clue what is coming. So I took a bunch of screenshots from social media. Um, so let's just go through them and kind of analyze what people are saying and what are the thoughts of the people. And Lawrence Wood is edifying, of course, everything being filtered through the scriptures. So we got over here. This one says the fact that we're all going to die is sad, bro. My kids haven't even lived their lives, and that's the general consent to most women. Oh, or really a lot of people. Oh, it's not going to happen in my time. My kids need to grow up. My kids haven't had a chance to live their life, or this, that, and the third. Well, we're not on your time. We're on Yahweh Shem Shai's time, right? So, but the main point in this is the fact we're all gonna die is sad, bro. Because and this is based off of all these comments are based off of the orange guy striking that country that starts with an I, and then ran after that. I don't know what they're gonna start flagging, so I want to use different terms for things. So I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. I might start calling it the treadmill country. This country right here. I treadmill. That might be the code word I start using for it. But yeah. So through the spirit, she's not wrong. A lot of people are gonna die. And you got this so-called YN right here says, "The fuck you mean we're all gonna die? Are you crazy?" Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. He think it's a game, He think it's a game, but this is Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night." Right. So that thief in the night is gonna surprise you. It's gonna surprise a lot of people. People think that they have forever and a day in this place, that their children are gonna grow up, that the world isn't gonna end for 1,000 years. They really don't understand how close we are to the end of this thing. It says, "In which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up." So this is talking about the thermonuclear destruction that's headed to America, that's coming to America. All right. And this prophecy of Iran is a big part of it. It's like I treadmill, I jog. Maybe I'll call them I jog. This prophecy of I jog, you have the those Israeli people over there, those Ish people, those impostorites, right? Who attacked the I jogs, and now set off a war between them, and the U.S. has gotten involved with it. Well, that's going to cause a chain reaction, right? So yeah, people are going to feel the fire, and it may not directly come from I jog, but Russia, China, So let's go to the next comment. If your concern is, and I'll try to be, it's a lot of comments, so I'll try to be a little bit less long-winded so we can get through this and not be here for 2 hours just reading comments. But it says, if your concern is if iJog is going to attack the mainland, that isn't possible for them, and the possibility of war will most likely stay in the Middle East since since there's military bases, etc., and that's their main targets. Which this is pretty much true. Iran, it's like I jog, gotta get used to it. I jog can't hit the mainland, but Russia can, China can, you know, their allies can. And according to the scriptures, the scriptures say, Jeremiah 50:14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, Babylon being America. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrow, for she has sinned against the Lord Yahweh. Right? So all these that bend the bow, everyone who has these nuclear capable missiles, shoot at America and don't spare those arrows. Don't save any missiles. So that's what's coming to Babylon. So just because iJaw can't do it, don't mean it's not going to get done. It says, I hope this helps and takes the worries and information as it comes day by day. Well, it came out today that they didn't even hit the nuclear. They hit the nuclear facilities, but they were empty. You know, so you did all that, struck a whole nother country, started a war, and didn't even, you know, do the objectives that you really wanted to do. So, and this guy, he has a little bit of sense. It says, not all, but most for sure, it's going to be the first reset of the current major civilization. We've been lucky to have had it for so long, and it's probably been about 600 to 700 years since the world reset to the history that got us to this modern society. There is going to be a reset. All right. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. Second Ezra, I believe it's in like chapter 2. Either in chapter 2 or chapter 3. Maybe it's chapter 3. It says it's certain church in 1611, so it should give it to me. All right, hold on. Okay, yeah, so it was 2. So Second Ezra chapter 2 and talking 6. Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8, it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Let me go back down. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right? So when this destruction occurs, there is going to be a reset. And the scriptures speak about I've seen servants on horses and princes walking on the earth. All right, this is going to be reset, right? Um, Right, Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right? That's what's going on right now. You know, so there's going to be a reset. So right now, matter of fact, that's what's going on right now. I believe there's another one that has the opposite. Um, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here's the reset. This is Isaiah 2 and 4. It says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords in the plowshares and their spears in the pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So that's going to be the reset. That's going to be, the new version of the world, you know, where we're never going to learn war again. We're never going to have to go to war again because um, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are authority, the people mourn. So the people are mourning right now. But when the righteousness is made um, to be on top like it's supposed to, you're not going to see any of this BS like we're seeing today. So people are making jokes. I ran, she ran, he ran, USA in five. You know, Israel in five, USA in four. So they're saying it's going to be a clean sweep. Well, motherfucker, you already down 0-1 because you missed. Let's get that. You can't just keep saying that. Iran moved uranium. Satellites show damage to Iran's nuclear program, but experts say it is not destroyed. Satellite images show unusual activity at Iran's nuclear sites before the strikes. They moved all that shit out, man. Iran's Fordo nuclear site said to look severely damaged, not destroyed. Check this one out. From the Times of Israel, right? From over there. It says Iranian state media claims targeted nuclear sites and their uranium stockpiles were previously evacuated. So you talking about USA in four, you already down. Hold on, why the fuck we going five and we gonna sweep shit? And this is the mindset of the average American, man. But Hosea 4 and 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. People are just they don't understand, and it's gonna be the cause of their demise. It says that they shall be no priest to me, seeing they have forgotten the law of the Most High, I will also forget thy children. So they don't know what's going on. This is all spiritual, and all this is being spoken about in the Bible is being played out in front of our eyes, but they don't know and they don't understand. This is the mindset of the modern day Babylonian. Esau has their mind so pumped up as a so-called American. Isaiah 47 and 1, it says, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now, this is what I want to get in this verse. Virgin daughter of Babylon. Because America has never been touched, right? Which, why they're saying, going back to the last one, we're all going to die. He's saying it isn't impossible for them to attack the mainland. And Trump's talking about the Golden Dome and this, that, and the third. They don't believe America can get touched. So America couldn't beat goddamn Afghanistan. America couldn't beat the Viet Cong army in Vietnam. But Iran's just, a pushover. Hey, they shutting down that Strait of Hormuz. Now let's see who's gonna fill it. The Straits of Hormuz What is it, and why does it matter to global trade? Iran orders closure of Strait of Hormuz, putting 1/5 of the world's oil supply at risk. You about to pay at the pumps. You're about to pay at the pumps. Get your gas right now, because it's just gonna go up. It's just gonna go up and be higher. And you could thank the Orange Fury for that. All right, and this is a kind of a long one. My smart people. So, what does striking Iran mean for the rest of us? Which is a good question. So, you got people playing. You're gonna have some serious comments. Says niggas said smart people and motherfuckers who think Gucci Man is a clone started commenting. So he's a jokester. So I'll give him that. But in all seriousness, um, let's see what the people are talking about. And this is my brother is a ranger in the army. But this is what the ranger said: "It's nothing to think. They don't have a conventional army. They just have missiles and fund other militias to fight their ground war, basically to fight on the ground." So he's saying it's going to be nothing, you know. But the lasting effects from this, cutting off the Strait of Hormuz, being backed by which was one of those, was it Oman? I believe they said don't come near our waters. Saudi Arabia, Oman, and Iraq condemn U.S. strikes. No, it was Yemen. Yep, Yemen enters war. Yemen says it is entering, this is from the Tehran Times. Yemen says it is entering the war following U.S. strikes on Iran. Then this is how you get a world war, right? Because they're building this up, man. People are entering the war. People are saying, man, fuck these people, man. You can't just fly in our airspace and bomb our cities and just think that you can do that carte blanche. Matter of fact, we're going to get something else here in a second. I'm trying to stay on topic, but my mind runs a million miles a minute, so y'all bear with me. It says Yemen has officially announced that it is joining Iran in the war against Israel and the United States, which began with Israeli attacks on Iranian soil on June 13th and was exaggerated with American airstrikes on Sunday. So let's see. What are the requirements to strike another country? Should be like 4 strikes or 4. In the U.S., the power to declare war, not. Where are. Right. Generally, under international law, the use of force against another state is prohibited. So what he did is illegal. Now, there's 4 reasons why you can. We're going to get into it maybe a little bit more, but so the use of force against another state is prohibited according to the UN Charter and customary international law, with few exceptions, said the PBS. June 21, 25, the primary exceptions are primary exceptions. So they're saying they're just trying to justify what happened. It says self-defense. A state has an inherent right to use force in self-defense against an armed attack, including a collective self-defense. So they're saying other countries can help you in your self-defense. Well, it's not self-defense if you're preemptive. If you do a preemptive strike, The other people are self-defending themselves. Actions taken in self-defense must be necessary and proportionate to the aggression. This can include anticipatory self-defense if an armed attack is imminent. So they're saying because Iran was weeks away from getting a nuclear weapon, we anticipated this, and in self-defense, we attacked IJOG, right? But you've been saying they're weeks away for 30 years. So how many weeks in 30 years? So they've been 1,565 weeks, away. 30 years ago, they were weeks away, and yesterday they were weeks away, and so they've been weeks away for the past 1,500 weeks. Make it make sense. Says the Caroline incident in the 19th century established a precedent for anticipatory self-defense, requiring the threat to be instant, overwhelming, leaving no choice of means and no moment for deliberation. The U.S. Security Council authorization. The U.S. Security Council can authorize the use of force to maintain or restore international peace and security under the Chapter 7 of the UN Charter. So if the UN says, hey, look, these people are wilding out, if anybody wants to take action, go ahead. That did not happen. The just war theory. This theoretical framework, it says this is separate from international law, suggests that war can only be justified in certain circumstances, such as self-defense, and requires the war to be declared by a proper authority, possesses the right intention, have a reasonable chance of success, and involve means proportional to the end. The international humanitarian law, also known as the law of war, governs the conduct of hostilities once a conflict has begun, aims to limit the suffering and protect civilians and those no longer participating in hostilities. It includes principles such as distinction between combatants and civilians and proportionality in attacks. Well, the ish people don't definitely follow this because they're letting the people in Gaza suffer. The responsibility to protect, and this is what America always says: we have a responsibility to protect these people from Al Qaeda, from the Taliban. I'm not even going to read the rest of this. You can look it up if you want. Let's get back to these comments. Says they finna block that oil and strike back. That's exactly what happened. They blocked the oil and they're going to strike these bases. Just here to be nosy. Gas prices will skyrocket. Hey, that's what's coming. Says we are free at last. Just trolling. I think IJOG is going to do exactly what they said they was going to do. Hey, and start fucking people up. And this dude, he's like a major scoffer. I've had conversations with him, and this dude's gonna get. I can't see him waking up. If he wake up, Lord's will, he wake up, and if he do, he can, and the Lord give him eyes to see and ears to hear, Bob Quashah. But if not, this nigga's gonna die in his iniquity. Just what it is. They ain't got the capability to strike U.S. soil. Nobody really does. He's very proud. Nobody can strike America. So Russia can't strike America. That's an idiotic statement, and a very proud statement. Says this is her responding to him. We have U.S. bases in the Middle East in their territory that they're more than likely going to target or die trying. So he replied, that happens often enough for it not to matter, if that makes sense. They're going to be on high alert. So what he's saying is because they often deal with these matters, they're going to be on high alert and be able to stop them. They're not. If they wanted, if iJog wants to go ahead and send them bombs over to them bases, they would be completely vulnerable. What happens next? Nothing. I hope nothing because I'm in the military myself. Well, that was a dumb move for you. Potentially World War III, China and Russia. Let me see if I got the rest of that. China or Russia may have a bone to pick. They have an alliance with Iran, and that's true. You know, they're going to dip their toe in this water. Eventually, this is going to lead to World Wars III, right? And this guy, he says, Russia can't keep up with the Ukrainian front. They're not about to open up on the U.S. too. And this guy says, I don't disagree with you. All right, so from and it's a lot of misinformation. Everybody just thinks that so now the Ukraine is beating Russia, and Americans are fucking idiots. They don't know anything. Ukraine fighters 10-1. Russian forces sometimes outnumber Ukraine 10-1 in Lyman sector, military says. Ukrainian troops cover their ears while firing the M777 howitzer. Ukraine is collapsing. Soldiers admit Russia has a 10-1 advantage. People don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They're just dick riding America. Means China now has a vested small beef with U.S. or with us. Iran's main export is oil. China is basically the only person they sell to. They're going to keep that oil safe. Believe that. It's a good statement. Nothing. I promise they ain't about to do shit. Americans, you know, the high-mindedness, man, they get it from Esau. But, niggas don't know nothing. Then that's where they're going to be destroyed for the lack of knowledge. We use bunker busters on their nuclear sites. What we bombed are nuclear sites that are critical to their nuclear program, which is what the whole dang thing is about anyway. That regime is wacko. Just an idiot woman who don't know nothing. But as we said, and we read the articles, their stockpiles were previously evacuated. Nobody died. No nuclear stuff was blown up. How safe is it to really blow? If you believe there's a nuclear bomb down here, how safe is it to blow it up? Blowing up a nuclear bomb is not safe. It would have a devastating and wide-ranging consequence. Here's the breakdown of the dangers. The blast wave, a nuclear explosion releases an enormous amount. So basically, if there was a nuke down there, you would set the nuke off and probably kill yourself trying to blow it up. The shit doesn't make sense. But people don't think before they type, think before they speak, think before they act, really. So let's try to see if we can get through some of these. Theism is back, has high gas prices. Says they do this to hijack your nervous system. People are so quick to believe everything they read just because it comes from the news. Question everything. That's the smart comment. They already vowed to strike American bases in the region. That's what's up next. I don't know why people think they're completely out of the realm of doing that when they said it, and it has been going back and forth with the rallies. Hope they don't, but chances are they will. The proxies just attacked our bases back in 2023. So let's see. So we had another question. How do y'all feel about this iDog shit? Like, I'm glad my husband and father are too old to be considered for the draft, because hey, that can very much come from all of this. Um, L, L, for the draft. In the United States, all male citizens and immigrants, both legal and undocumented, between the ages of 18 to 25, are generally required to register with Selective Services for the draft. This includes those who are U.S. born, naturalized, and with various visa statuses. While the U.S. currently operates under an all-voluntary military, the Selective Service system is maintained for potential future needs. So yeah, 18 through 25. Late registrations, Selective Services accept late registrations up to the age of 26. Um, could older men be drafted? So it says you can't be drafted after the age of 25. Federal law considers all men between 17 and 44 as part of the militia, meaning they can be conscripted. However, the maximum age for the draft registration potential of conscription is 25. Here we go. No upper limits for militia. While Selective Services system has an upper age limit for registration and drafting, there is no upper limit for the militia, meaning older men could potentially be called upon in a national emergency. So, it can still, potentially go down for anybody of any age. I feel like our opinions don't matter. They cannot have nuclear weapons. Why? Why? It's like you got an AK-47, and we've been beefing for the past 2 years, and then you go grab an AK-47 and then say, well, no, he can't have one. Well, if you come and shoot me, how can I defend myself? Cody said he feels much safer now. Let's see if we got that. Most definitely. How long has Iran said death to America? They're constantly threatening us. So what do? Wait for them to strike or eliminate their biggest threat. Well, if they've been saying it, because what he's talking about uh, the guy who died like when I was 4 years old or something like that. Iran Supreme Leader died in 1989. Here he is. He's talking about Khomeini. Uh, so let's get the phrase "death to America," or in Persian "Mark America," is a political slogan popularized by Ruhollah Khomeini, the first supreme leader of IJOG, particularly during and after the Ijogian Revolution. It expresses anti-American sentiment and has been widely used in IJOG in other countries, while Khomeini himself reportedly opposed the chant for radio and television. He used it in other contexts, including protests. So this is what something that was said damn near 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Yeah, more than 30 years ago, 35 years ago. You know, but so if it was said 35 years ago, why wait all this time? If Iran's been such this big threat to America, why wait till now? You waited till now because the Israeli people told you better go bomb them. You just doing what BB says. What BB says, Trump does, right? He's a little errand boy. Agreed, and for that reason, the last thing they need is a nuke. So there's still some more comments. We 36 minutes in. I really want to get to this video. Let me cue up this video. Give me a second here. Bob Bashar. All right, here we go. So this guy, Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, he has his own channel now, Myron Gaines X, where the name of this video is Why IJOG Doesn't Trust America or the Israeli People, right? So, and I'm going to play this video. I just don't want to get, a strike on the channel, so I just got a screenshot, and we're going to play the audio. But he gives a perfect breakdown on what's happening, what's been happening, what's going on, and you can really see like the truth about the matter, like how we got here, So so also I want to back this up. He was an ex-FBI agent. He used to be an FBI agent. So just a little bit about his background. He's also his parents are Middle Eastern. I believe he's a Somalian.
You're the leader of Iran. Your enemy, Israel, is constantly not only attacking you or trying to attack you and dethrone you, but they've destabilized and destroyed all of your neighbors. Then you're under attack. Fighter jets are scrambling all across your country, bombing your fucking civilian nuclear program, right? Your generals are dead. 9 of your nuclear scientists are dead. You don't know what's going on. Your radar's fucking cooked. Your shit is hacked. Pandemonium. What the fuck would you do, chat?
But I just want to address the point he said before we move on, because contrary to what I said, he keeps saying that Iran's not a threat to America. So since Scott decided to become Iran's mouthpiece, can you please clarify for me what Khomeini means when he says death to America, death to the West, and forceful conversions? Can you translate in the language that you so clearly understand that all of us are missing? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. So first of all, Khomeini died in 1989. You don't know what you're talking about. Second.
Yeah, that is where I got that from. This is the source I got that information. So really, this is good. This is good. I'm gonna fast forward it to a good place. I think this is it right here.
So like part of being an intelligent person is being able to empathize, right? Let's go into this dream world. You're the leader of Iran, okay? You're the fucking Ayatollah. You're the supreme leader, right? Your country is poor. You have a sophisticated missile system. You got some hypersonics. You got some fucking, some ballistic missiles. You got some cruise missiles, drones, etc. You have a strong missile program. You are developing and have a civilian nuclear program. But your enemy, Israel, is constantly not only attacking you or trying to attack you and dethrone you, but they've destabilized and destroyed all of your neighbors. Okay? They destroyed Libya. They destroyed Sudan. They destroyed Morocco. They bribed Jordan. They destroyed Egypt, then bribed Egypt later. They destroyed Lebanon, right? They destroyed Palestine. And you see that they're propped up by the world's strongest military. So in an effort to preserve yourself, a guy named Barack Obama says, look, I know you guys want a nuclear weapon to stave off Israel and the United States. Let's exercise diplomacy. I have this deal here that will allow you to continue to enrich uranium for a peaceful civilian program, but we're going to have international oversight from multiple different countries to include us. We'll be involved, but other countries will be too, so that this is fair. You're like, you know what? We got some crippling sanctions. Our economy could do better. Let's do it. You enter into the agreement in 2015. You comply with the inspections. You allow the IAEA to come in, an International Board of Inspectors. You signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which ensures that you will never build a nuclear weapon. You do everything right. You go to the UN, you meet, etc. You become a part of the UN Council, all this shit, right? And you do this for a few years. But unfortunately, unlike you being the supreme leader where you stay the leader, the United States has an election every 4 years. And some blonde-haired orange man, who used to be a former businessman, takes office. You find out he had a very strong connection with the Zionist lobby. Within 3 years of you being into this agreement and complying with all the fucking standards, this guy pulls out of the agreement, puts you on the foreign terrorist organization list, crippling sanctions come your way because you're on the foreign terrorist list, which allows them to put you even harder sanctions on you. And you find out that your enemy Israel, who has been trying to destroy you and destroyed all the countries around, was the biggest lobbying party to get you put on this foreign terrorist list and to create the sanctions that are destroying your economy. You don't have a nuclear weapon, and you know that invasion is imminent. You've seen Benjamin Netanyahu for 30 years go to UN Council after UN Council, go to international meeting after international meeting and say that you're building a nuclear bomb and use that to try to invade or intervene in your country's sovereignty. What would you do? You had an agreement, they backed out the agreement, they put crippling sanctions on your country, and then they labeled your military a terrorist organization. Well, clearly, diplomacy doesn't work. They want you out of here. They want regime change. So you start refining your uranium to defend yourself. You start arming proxies all around Israel to ensure that you have insulation between yourself and Israel. Now, they're trying to escalate, and they go ahead and they do a preemptive attack against you. So this president comes back. Remember the guy that ripped up the fucking deal and put you on the terrorist list? He comes back into office. He says, yo, you remember that nuclear deal that I pulled out back in 2015? Let's do it again. I pulled out in 2018. Let's do it again. Cool. Let's negotiate. Maybe we just had a misunderstanding last time. And to your surprise, the nuclear deal that he proposes is like the same one you signed back in 2015, 10 years ago. Awesome. Let's do it. Steve Witkoff comes in, meets with your ambassador. The first couple of meetings go well. Hey, you guys can enrich uranium. Just got to stay at around 3%. Civilian, you know what I'm saying? Cool. All right, we can agree to that. Steve Witkoff leaves. Comes back. Hey, you know, I know we talked about you guys being able to enrich uranium, but yeah, you guys can't enrich uranium. What? Yeah, sorry, man. What the fuck? I thought we had an agreement. We can enrich uranium for civilian, nuclear program. Yeah, nah, man. Sorry. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I hate to say this, but you guys got to get rid of your ballistic missile program, too. What? So you guys are saying that we can't even enrich it for civilian purposes, and we have to get rid of our missiles? So we have to make ourselves sitting ducks and get rid of our only ability to defend ourselves? Yeah, it's kind of how this deal's going to go. We told you guys that we would not agree to anything that would not allow us to at least enrich uranium on a civilian level. Yeah, I know, but, I agreed to that, but I went back, I talked with Donnie, and, it was the Israelis, wasn't it? Nah, man, it's just us. Really? It's just us, man, I promise. Then you find out Steve Witkoff, if you're wondering, who is Steve Witkoff?
put over here in a second. Who is Steve Witkoff? He's an ish. He's an ish.
Every single time, chat. This is the guy that's negotiating with, by the way. So first it was you can have your civilian program. Then it's you can't have your civilian program and you got to get rid of your ballistic missiles. What the fuck would you do, chat? What would you do? Would you give up your uranium program? And would you give up the ballistic missiles? Type in the chat. What would you guys do? Give me a 1 if you would give up your shit. Give me a 2 if you would say, fuck you guys, and start enriching uranium and arm yourself. What would you do?
Everyone would do it too.
1 of you would give up your shit. 2 of you would say, fuck you guys. Fuck Israel. Fuck the United States. I'm going to go ahead and arm ourselves now and continue enriching uranium. What are you doing if you're the supreme leader, chat? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Then, hold on. We haven't even got to the good stuff yet. Then, you say, you know what? Let's continue to talk. So already at this point, you guys are saying we would keep our shit. That's fine. I'm not even at the good part yet. So it gets better. Now, though Mr. Witkoff tells you, look, man, no more uranium enrichment and the ballistic missile program's got to go. You say, you know what? Let's keep talking. We've had 4 to 5 different discussions that went well. Let's not destroy this one that came off weird. Let's keep talking. Cool. Diplomacy continues. You have a meeting set on Sunday. Well, you don't. You're the supreme leader. But your ambassador does. He has a meeting set in Oman on Sunday. You guys are figuring out the logistics, etc., setting it up. Fast forward. It's fucking, what, Friday? Next thing you know. What the fuck? Explosion in Tehran. What the hell's going on? What the fuck? Your fucking generals call you. Hey, we're under attack. What? Yeah, we're under attack. Call, this nigga. He's dead. What? Yeah, I call, he's dead. What? Again. You're under attack. Fighter jets are scrambling all across your country, bombing your fucking civilian nuclear program, right? Your generals are dead. 9 of your nuclear scientists are dead. You don't know what's going on. Your radar's fucking cooked. Your shit is hacked. Pandemonium. You're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. You had diplomacy talks set up for Sunday. You're calling the fucking White House. You're calling Steve Witkoff. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah. About that. Yeah, man, the Israelis, you know. You wanted... We told you 60 days, bro. We told you 60 days. Didn't we have a meeting in 2 days? Yeah. Sorry, bro. Click. Oh, and doesn't end there. The airstrikes continue. Your nuclear facilities are bombed. Your generals assassinated. Pandemonium all across the country. Pearl Harbor has just happened while you're in the middle of diplomacy talks. Then, Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, your guy's fucking equivalent, says, hey, we had no idea. The Israelis did it by themselves. Trump says we had nothing to do with it. Next day, Israelis come out. No, America knew exactly what we were doing. What are they talking about? They knew exactly what we were doing. They knew it was going to happen. What? So the people that we were negotiating with knew that there was an imminent attack against us? Yeah. Then Trump, because he's a fucking egomaniac, comes in the next day and says, yeah, we knew they were going to attack. We let it happen. Now, given all those facts, would you guys give up your uranium program?
Hold on. And to add to that, because this video was taken literally minutes before the attack actually happened. I watched this live, and then literally all the attacks happened, And then I went back to his channel and he was live again, going over, you know, the 3 sites being attacked. So everything that he said, and then the people who you were negotiating with on Saturday was supposed to have a meeting for diplomacy on Sunday, had an attack on you on that Saturday. So Friday, the rallies attacked you, and the U.S. knew about it. On Saturday, the U.S. attacked you. Of course, they knew about it, and you're supposed to have diplomacy talks on that Sunday, and that's who we're dealing with, you know. But just wanted to paint the full picture for you know, you brothers out here in the truth, on what's really going on in the timeline. So that's really, I'm not going to go over any more. I think I probably had a few more pages. See if there's anything. Yeah, I am going to go over a little bit more. Yeah, we are officially at war. Hold up, what was that? I think this is old. Iran in a year. So people were making jokes. You know, Buc-ee's, Walmart, Costco, Bass Pro Shops, Dollar General. People think that this is all fun and games, but it's gonna be all fun and games when, you know, the elements are melting like fervent heat. All right, and America's being destroyed. So, but that's all I really wanted to get with this. Lord's word is edifying, and with that being said, we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakar Kadash, giving double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the 4 corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. Shalom.